Hi, can you tell us a little bit about why you're here today?
I come every year. I think it's one of the greatest scandals in Canada that we have up to 500 Indigenous women missing and murdered, and nothing's done. And I think that it's important to draw attention to it, and it's important for everyone, especially those of us who are settlers on this land, to show our support to the movements that are trying to get an inquiry into what happened to these women, and to get international attention to the fact that there's 500 missing women in Canada and nobody's doing anything about it. Well, except for Amnesty International and the Indigenous people here. Yeah.
And what do you think someone can do listening to this broadcast to make a difference?
Well, I think they should write the Prime Minister and the Minister of Indian Affairs and say we want an inquiry into what's happened to these women, and why it is that life is so cheap for Indigenous women in this country, why they aren't better protected from violence.
And can you speak a little bit more into the underlying issues?
Well, the underlying issues are racism, and a lot of Indigenous people are poor, and women are on the street, and there's not much value placed on the life of an Indigenous woman, and even less on the life of a prostitute. So if you're an Indigenous prostitute, your life is completely valueless in this country, and that's not acceptable.
My name is Araba Okran-Caesar, and I'm here to represent Sarah Jean DeVries. She is a family friend from Vancouver, and I'm the only one out here, so I'm here to represent for her today.
Great. And what do you hope to achieve through today's march?
Essentially awareness, and to hopefully promote dialogue. I noticed every time we did the march in Vancouver, we generally were able to bring more people in from off the streets, and that's essentially the only thing that I'm here for, is really to hopefully, just promote change and awareness and dialogue.
The fact that women are being victimized and are being criminalized even because of the fact of them being Indigenous is a very big shame, and that Canada and the United States should both feel shameful about.
And is there something that you think someone can do who's watching this today?
Well, what we want people to do is to be able to voice your opinion to your friends, to your family. Get to know more about what these issues are, because the fact is that most people don't know what these issues are in depth. They hear about them. They know that Indigenous people have been brutalized in the past, but they don't know that it's still going on. So what I suggest is that people should find out. Rallies like this help for people to understand and engage in the community, and to see the issues at hand within an organized group, which is good, because that way women can take that into their families, into their communities, and then spread the word about what's going on.
And why do you think this is happening in Canada?
Well, the reason why this is happening in Canada, this is happening because of a long history of colonization that dates back to when the English and the French first arrived, and the fact that the Canadian state was imposed upon Indigenous people without their consent, and the fact is that people have been, the brutalization of that colonization has overstretched time through the various tactics that they've used, such as residential schools, such as the reserve system, such as those kinds of things that have separated and that have brutalized specifically women, because again, like I said, they are the voices of the community, especially here in North America, where Indigenous nations tend to be matrilineal and express their concerns and needs through the voices of women in their community. And so it's because of that, and because of the fact that they are the ones that stand up for the community, they're the ones to get the first beat at what that colonization, or that neo-colonization, as they would call it now, gives upon them, that brutalization.
Thank you very much for your time today.
No problem. Thanks.